Can you see that? Now this isn't going to be death by PowerPoint, because we had enough of that. So I will encourage everyone to start a conversation. Let's have a little, get involved in the chat. Everyone's been really nice and sort of interactive, which is brilliant. So for a start, just let me know. Obviously, Claire knows you much more than I do. What business are you in? Have you got a business? If you don't, it doesn't matter, but it would be great to know how established your business is. All of that good stuff. Where are you all based as well? Just pop all of those, all that sort of info, just so I know who you are. And in terms of questions, this is a sort of presentation, so I do have slides, but if there are sort of immediate things that you must ask me, then please do. But I will, just in sort of trying to keep it relatively focused, this can turn into like a real, sometimes people get obsessed by things like kit and, oh, I want to do I want to pitch a show to Netflix or whatever, and then you can go off on an entirely different tangent. What I really want to give you guys is all the sort of tools and insights that you need, and actionable, practical hints and tips to start creating your own video marketing strategy, i.e. start to plan how you can create your content. I will then talk about kind of on a very basic level, the kind of kit you need to do this kind of thing. So it's not going to be, oh, let's talk about how they shot The Mandalorian or whatever, because we just don't have time to get into that. It's such an enormous like subject area. I was doing a thing yesterday, overran to 2 hours. I mean, it's not great, but and it still only scratch the surface because there's just so much stuff to know about. But anyway, the focus today is for you to go away from this session hopefully fired up, with actionable hints and tips and stuff that you can implement either in your business straight away, or depending on what you're doing and what you want to use video for, we can have that dialogue now, and hopefully I can give you some pointers. So that's kind of the sort of all of that sort of stuff out the way, the sort of housekeeping, I suppose you call it. So yeah, let's have a look at these few numbers, shall we? So this isn't a geography lesson, by the way. Total population. So I'm not going to start asking people where countries are and stuff. But anyway, listen, 7.8 billion people in the world. Okay, interesting, you might say. Then you look across there, internet users. This stats, by the way, this is like the latest stats that I dug up the other day. 4.6 billion internet users. That's a lot of people. So 59%, I'm just under 60% of the world, everyone in the world, 60% of the entire population are on the internet. Well, why should I bother with that? Well, the thing is, and then you look at things like this, of those people, 90% of them watch online videos, and you'll go, yeah, but it's Netflix, it's Amazon, blah blah blah. Fine, but then we go on to this thing here, right? 4.1 billion people watched online video in 2020, and including video on a landing page increases conversion. So basically, the point is there are, it's one of the most popular activities to do. There's actually a stat that, when you take into, even if you take into account, the whole Netflix and Amazon stuff, there is still a mind-bogglingly massive amount of people who are consuming online video content as a part, as a sort of separate from the streaming services. So if you've got a business and you're not creating video content, I know excuse me, I know Claire also went through all the different sort of platforms you can be on, all the different types of content you can create. And obviously, again, I will reiterate what Claire said, which is absolutely right. Don't try and do everything at once. I would say be strategic about it. Think about if let's assume now you've got a business and you're wanting to use video, or you're wanting to create content. Let's be even broader than just video. If you're wanting to create content, you're wanting to get yourself out there. Now, we'll go on to why you should set goals, but this is why you need to be really sort of take a step back and think about what does your business need in the first instance, and that will inform you know, do you go video? Do you start doing blogs? Do you start doing, you know, this or that sort of post? What platforms do you want? But you need, the point is, rather than rushing into it and going, oh, I've got to do stuff on Pinterest. Oh my God, I'm going to just spend 5 hours in a clubhouse room because, you know, I quite like the people who are speaking there. You know, like Claire said, you will spend hours and hours of your day and it's not necessarily that productive. Sort of the way I mean, again, you can do this or not do this, is up to you, but the way I find it works when it comes to anything social media, because they are designed to be addictive. That's exactly why they are created in the way they are. There's apps, they spend millions of dollars on making these things addictive, and, you know, sort of almost like gambling effectively. They know what buttons to press to keep you on the platforms. That's why they exist. They're not a social good, let's put it that way, right? They are there to keep you on their platform so they can flog adverts to you. That's basically what they're there for. So as long as you know that, that said, that's not a judgment, because they are amazingly powerful things that can be leveraged by business people, right? So you know, you've just got to go in knowing that they're not there. They've got, you know, skin in the game. There's a reason for them being there. They want to ultimately get eyes in front of adverts. That's for a lot of them, that's their business model. So, you know, just be conscious of what you're spending your time doing. And in terms of the social media thing, if you've got a day, I mean, I sort of had this, this is going slightly off topic, but I think it's relevant when it comes to sort of how you're going to produce your videos and stuff like that. I mean, this is awesome things, productivity planner. It costs costs about 20 quid. It's from a company called Intelligent Change. I'm not, you know, I just thought it was really good. It has revolutionized the way. It's taken me, you know, 49 years to get to the point where I think, oh yeah, I should actually maybe plan myself a bit, get planned a bit. But you know, if I'm doing stuff on socials, I'm literally doing it for half an hour. If I'm doing emails, I'm doing half an hour to an hour in the morning, and then I do it in the afternoon. And other than that, I'm focusing on what I need to actually do that day, rather than being very scattergun. And then you find, you know, you've spent sort of 2 hours listening to someone on Clubhouse, or, you know what all your mates have eaten for the last 4 weeks on Instagram. Do you see what I mean? Anyway, back to the presentation. That was it was a sort of rant, but you know, it's from a good place, and I want to help people, right? So that's why I'm doing it. So just by including video on a landing page or a sales page, that's a one-page type website where you're literally like, if you sell a particular product, you can create rather than having a big website with loads and loads of pages, it's literally like, this is what this page is just selling this one thing, right? Putting a video on a sales page or a one-pager like that landing page can increase conversions by 80%, right? That's the power of video. Video is 50 times more likely to get organic ranking than just plain text results. Now, you just need to look at the search returns that are coming back on Google now, right? So if you type something in, I bet you've noticed, I certainly have. I mean, I'm a bit of a marketing geek, so that's probably why. But more and more search terms, when the results come back to you on Google, you're getting more and more videos, and the videos are higher up the page. They're taking up more real estate on the Google search returns, because Google understands. I mean, this is part of the reason why people should be getting into video. And if you're not, at least if you don't do anything else from this session, just please take time and really genuinely think about how video can help your business. And that is not meant as a sales pitch. It's not about, oh, come and use me and commission me and my production company to do work for you. If you want me to, brilliant. But it's actually about you as a business owner taking a step back, going, you know, the danger is you could be left behind, because the direction of travel from Google is they like video as a form because it can communicate an awful lot very quickly. It's also really engaging. So from their point of view, they're keeping people on their platforms for longer. Guess why they want to promote it, right? So, but the point is, right, we can't, if you're trying to use Google as leverage it for your business, why on earth would you try and fight against it? You need to go with the direction of travel. And at the moment, and I think for the foreseeable, certainly all of the stuff that's coming out of Google, think with Google and all their sort of, you know, the research side of Google, it's all about video, and it's all about promoting video. as a form, because they realize people on mobile, again, see, it's all about mobile first as well now, which means if you're creating video, make sure you're creating it for, visualize your audience watching it on a mobile phone. Make sure that, you know, okay, for certain things like Snapchat and Insta and things, and Facebook as well, film it, you know, portrait. If it's YouTube, unless it's a YouTube short, which is YouTube's version of TikTok, then film its landscape 16:9. But the point is, video is it, if you create really valuable and really genuinely useful content that answers specific questions that people are typing into Google, Google will notice that over a period of time, and it's not overnight at all. It takes months. But if you plug away, and again, that's why planning is good. You know, get a planner, because you need, this is a marathon, not a sprint. There's nothing that is, there's no such thing in digital marketing world. I hate to, you know, burst your bubble. Lots of people try and sell you stuff that will say, you know, oh my God, suddenly I'm earning £1 million a minute. Don't believe a word of it. None of it is overnight. All of it requires work and application. I mean, certainly all of the stuff that I've done sort of over the last few years on, you know, in terms of affiliate, all of that stuff, it all requires diligence and consistency. Nothing is like turn a tap on, suddenly you're earning millions of quid. So if you're trying to earn money, you know, and create a passive stream of income from online work, it will require a lot of work. It will require your time and your effort over a sustained period of time. Having said that, it will, you know, depending, if you're focused enough, of course it will work, absolutely. But don't be fooled into thinking that the internet is a magic money printing machine, in spite of what some people will sort of tell you. It just isn't. And, you know, anyway, attaching a video in an email can lead to a 200 to 300% increase in CTR. So if you go to that bit.ly link there, that's my YouTube channel, hint, hint. I've just done a video actually about this amazing tool called Loom. I am going to type it because I'm that kind of guy. Loom.com. It is if you've not heard of it, it is a free tool. There, you can do a paid version of it if you want, but it's a really good way of creating video content. The free version, yes, Tanya, it is. It's a really, really useful tool. The free version allows you to do 5-minute videos. I actually quite like the fact that you're limited to 5 minutes, because it keeps your mind focused on what am I trying to tell, you know, what it's basically a video email. So you don't want to be rambling on for 10 minutes. People don't have the time. I did, Janice, say Loom, and the link is loom.com. You can download it. If you use Chrome, it's a Chrome extension, and it sits there and you press it when you're on a website, and then you can basically, as long as you've got a webcam, you can record a video. It is a fantastically powerful tool if you ever do any prospecting, if you ever sort of, and I hate this term, but cold email, email outreach. So you're just sort of, you know that you can help someone, so you get in touch, and rather than just writing a massive blurby email in copy, you can do a little 2-minute video about how you can help them. If you're on their website, again, you know, kind of what Claire was talking about earlier on, you know, these people, the awesome people that basically have never even looked at your website, don't even know what your business is, and yet they try and flog you stuff, you know what I mean? It's the opposite of that. In fact, the reason I got introduced, yeah, BombBomb also, Anthony, brilliant. BombBomb email is what the Mr. Value himself, Ben Brophy, who's also an absolute video guru, and got a lot of love for Mr. Ben Brophy. He uses BombBomb, and it is fantastic. BombBomb though doesn't do I think it's a 14-day trial on BombBomb. You can't do, it's not like free forever. So I think if you do a lot of email outreach, then I would definitely look at BombBomb email. It's fantastic. BombBomb, it's how do I spell it? I'd kind of say, Janice, it's a bit of a rubbish answer. I could Google it and it'll come up. I think it's bombbombemail.com or something, but yeah, just have a little scoot and onto Google now, and just Google BombBomb email and you'll get there. It's BombBomb as in a exploding thing. No idea why they call it that. It's a bit of a weird name, but no, it's fantastic. So if you do in your business do a lot of outreach, and you know, like if you're reaching out to people on LinkedIn, it is fantastic, because I found personally, when I've reached out and done a little Loom video, that the response rate is way higher than it would be or with a normal email, because frankly, I'm amazed that that more people aren't doing video emails. But you do need to use, thanks Guy for putting the link there, bombbomb.com it is. I'm amazed not more people are using video email. Now, this isn't, whatever you do, do not record a big video and then just attach it to Outlook, because video files are massive, and that's what effectively Loom and BombBomb are doing, is they compress the file. But effectively you send a link, without getting too techy about it, they send you a link and they give you a little animated GIF, which is really, really engaging. So that encourages the click. So you get a normal email with a little kind of preview screen with you kind of nattering in it as an animated GIF, and you go, oh, that's interesting, click, and then it takes you to the video. And again, if you're super planned about what you're saying in the order you're saying it, rather than a massive rambling monologue, also always, just as this is sort of a bit of an aside, but if you're doing a video email, always approach it. And I don't want to be telling you how to suck eggs, okay? But I'm hoping this is of use. I always approach it that if you're sending someone an email, I always start with whoever I'm emailing in mind, and trying to put myself in their shoes. How can I help them? So what state are they in at that point? And then how can I help them get to where they want to get to? So I'll always open, rather than go, hi, I'm Jeremy, I'm an award-winning cameraman and I do this, that, and the other. They don't care. All they care about at that moment, and this is true of all sorts of marketing, by the way, at that point, all the person opening their email is, can Jeremy help me do what I want to do? So that's why you need to do some due diligence. You need to understand you've either maybe heard that they have an issue that you can help with, or it might be supposition, but position how you can help first, and then go on to, oh, by the way, I do this, that, and the other, and I've done it for 20 years, whatever, as a qualification. And so that you're almost earning the click. And this is very similar to video generally. You've got to earn the view first. So you've got to position the value up front. Then you can, halfway in it, then go, oh, by the way, I'm not just talking nonsense. I'm not just making this up as I go along. Actually, and then you qualify who you are. You know what I mean? So that you're effectively saying to the audience, and in this case, a person who's clicking on your email, I'm not wasting your time. You can you're starting to build the know, like, and trust, which is absolutely key to any kind of digital marketing. And I'm sure Claire has talked about know, like, and trust. It genuinely is. And like Claire touched on earlier on, it is all about creating and fostering genuine relationships online. It's just because it's online, that's just the delivery mechanism. It's still about, think about it in terms of, back in the day, clicks, a bricks sort of enterprise. Person comes into the shop, these people, the shop, the customers would have come in day after day. The shopkeeper will have got to know them, got to know who they are, their situation, all this. All we're doing is exactly the same thing on a bigger scale and virtually. But the dynamics, if you like, are the same. You've got to build up gradually that know, like, and trust. You've got to start to and you've got to genuinely care about your customers. You've got to genuinely want to help them out. This isn't about, trying to rush into, like, just saying, rushing up to someone in the street going, hey, buy this off me, like some weird Del Trotter on speed. That is not what it's about. That's not going to work, because we're British, a lot of us, if you're here, but it's just not genuine. And unless you've got to want to genuinely help people, because I believe personally, and it's only a personal thing, that business owners, we are here to serve our customers. The businesses that succeed are the businesses that serve. It's not about making money at all costs. Serve first, and then you make money later. It's that sense of service first, I believe, and then the money will then follow that, because people will really connect with you on a deep level. And that is why I think video is a really powerful tool. That was another bit of a mini rant. I'm really sorry. I don't know what I must have, maybe it was in my coffee or something, I don't know. Anyway, listen, this is e-commerce. Brilliant, Billy and Lorena. I'm glad I'm not just, spouting nonsense and you're like, it's, you know, hitting sort of a brick wall. So look, in the UK on its own, 80% of people searched online to buy a product or service. Now, so this goes to the wider point, whether or not you use video. This is why, as a business, you must have some kind of digital footprint, and you must absolutely, and this is not a pitch for the Internet Business School, although it could be, as I believe, unless you want to, the danger, right, I see is, and I'm in a fortunate position that I talk to an awful lot of business owners all the time. And I'm seeing that the pace of change over the last couple of years, obviously with the pandemic, effectively, we are 2 or 3 years ahead of where we would have ordinarily been in terms of online adoption. What's happened is the pandemic has accelerated that. So suddenly business owners, we've had an absolute nightmare of a time, obviously, because of the pandemic and all of that stuff, which, you know, is horrendous. Then we come back and things are starting to open up, and I genuinely really hope that they are for you guys and what you're doing. But suddenly you're finding, hang on, all my customers that were kind of queued out the door are now no longer doing that, because they're all online and they're all searching for products and services online. 88% of people now in the UK, as of last year, are searching. So if you don't have a footprint, a digital footprint, if you're not online in a meaningful way, 80% of people won't find you. Well, that is a disaster. You know, not only that, 85%, so that's people searching online, 88%, 85% of people are purchasing online as well now. So that's something that's increased. So the bottom line is, frankly, if you're not online, you really, really, really need to think about you being online, but do it in the right way, do it in a sustainable way. You know, you don't have to do everything at once, like Claire was saying about the social media platform. It's so easy to get distracted, so easy to get sort of taken down roads which aren't necessarily the most profitable or the most, you know, productive routes in terms of developing your business. 90% of customers say that product video helps them make buying decisions. That's from Forbes. 64% of consumers say that watching a marketing video on Facebook's influenced a purchasing decision. Video users grow company revenue 49% year over year than organizations without video. Okay, I think I've underlined it enough. I'm on an absolute mission, if you've not gathered already, to empower business owners and entrepreneurs to create outstanding video content that will help inspire and engage to drive business and personal growth. Okay, that's what I'm all about. That's what I'm doing today. That's why, you know, create content on a weekly basis, because we need small businesses to succeed, to get ourselves out of the whatever that we're in right now in terms of as an economy. The only way, the blue chips aren't going to do it. It's got to be small businesses being empowered. And so whatever I can do to help people in my own small way, I will absolutely do that. So, you know, very easy to get super excited about digital marketing and, you know, it's all going to be super easy and I'm going to suddenly get floods of cash through my letterbox. So a marketing plan for disaster might look something like this. I set up a Twitter account. I set up a LinkedIn company page. I build a website. We spend a bit of money on that. Oh, I make some random videos and slap them all over the place, but I don't do them in any really considered way. I start running paid ads because everyone's told me I need to get on Facebook and I need to, you know, pay for Insta and and then absolutely nothing happens. Now, this guy, it really doesn't need to be like that. Okay. Can you just let me know this is a bit of a weird segue, but can you let me know if you can hear this guy? Have I enabled? No. Okay. This guy, I'm going to do another new share quickly, and I'll go to Dollar Shave Club. Share sound, that's why. Let's just have a little look at this video.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com.
Yes, Edward,
what is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, Pop-Up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
Right. So, I mean, that is, I mean, you know, that the bar's pretty high, but that is the power of video. Okay. I'm just going to share with you, as a result of that video, you know, what happened. That video cost him. Now that was done in, that video was done in 2012. Okay. So it's a few years ago, well, 10 years ago, nearly. Yeah, 10 years ago, I think. It cost under $5,000, okay, to do that. 12,000 orders in 24 hours after that went live. 12,000, okay. That year that it was released, 12 years ago, or 10 years ago, whenever it was, $3.5 million in turnover, in revenue that year, off the back of that. That went viral, and you can understand why. It's absolutely brilliantly done, I think. But to me, it's a lesson. He spent $5,000, okay, which sounds quite a lot. But when you think about ROI, what an incredible ROI from thinking about, he was a, he did stand up, so that's why that script is absolutely on the money. But more than that, he was absolutely dialed into who his audience was, and that's why, you know, it basically, obviously, blokes of a certain age, probably, I don't know, 20 to 40, and the way he used humor to communicate, you know, effectively what his business is about was, you know, it's engaging. You want to watch to the end. It's absolutely brilliant. And the other thing as well, which is amazing about that video and a really good pointer, is there was something new happening all the time. The shots were changing, stuff was going through frame. You want to be changing something in frame every 8 seconds. I think if we went through that, it's actually more than that on that particular video, but it's visually very stimulating. It's funny. You're like, this is slightly out there. It's very left field. In terms of branding, what an incredible brand statement that was. He sold I think last year, 2 years ago, he sold Dollar Shave Club for $1 billion. So it grew from a basic standing start to $1 billion company in a decade. That is not a bad ROI. 27.5 million views that video's had since 2012. So, you know, that is what video can do in terms of just establishing your brand and all of that. I just think it's such a great way of communicating, of establishing a brand, of establishing you as an expert. We'll go through in a second the different things that video can do for you. But in the meantime, please do get active in the chat. I'm glad you, Edward, I absolutely, to me, that is, you know, that really is on the money in terms of, you know, an absolutely fantastic example of a low budget. I mean, normally an advert would cost probably upwards of 100 grand, right? For a TV ad, maybe £250,000. Okay. That's the sort of budget that you're dealing with. So that guy, he used his friend who was a videographer. They obviously spent a day shooting it. He would have spent a lot longer, I think, writing it and all of that. Well, the thing is, you see, with advertising standards, YouTube, it's not policed. The ASA doesn't have jurisdiction over YouTube, because YouTube's a US company, and this is the whole thing. Don't get me started on Netflix and Amazon and the Ofcom, because effectively what's happened at the moment, I'll brief sort of dive off, is you've got these massively funded American-based companies producing incredible content. Don't get me wrong, incredible productions that we're all loving and watching and all the rest of it. And then you've got the BBC, ITV, Channel 4, and all the UK broadcasters who are being you know, who have to meet Ofcom rules. Netflix and Amazon don't, because they're offshore and they're piping it into the UK. Now that, I don't think, is a sustainable situation. So, you know, because it's on the internet and it's served from another country, you're not subject to the same rules and regs. I mean, that said, obviously don't make spurious, you know, if you're doing ads in that way, you've got to still do it in an ethical way, I think, because it's just a decent thing to do. Let me in the chat anyway. What's stopping you from creating videos for your business? I want to understand what your roadblocks are. What do you need to know more about? What are you finding frustrating? And also, if you have done stuff before, let me know what that is. And also, I want to know what happened as well. We might have a little Q&A at the end, depending on how overrunning I am. But anyway, look, what can video do for you? Yeah, exactly, Alan. It is all about consistency. You know, basically, you've got to be honest with yourself, really, and also take a really long, hard look at the amount of resource, and by resource, I mean, obviously money, but time, more importantly, and how much you can, you know, invest in that. We'll go on to talk about this in a minute, but it's all about client lifetime value. How much do clients bring in to your business? So, you know, if you spent a week, let's say, creating loads and loads of video content, but then you get off the back of those videos that you then obviously drip out over a period of a month or so, you know, if you're then getting 5 or 10 new clients, if, you know, is that fundamentally worth your weeks worth of time and money investment? That's the thing. So video, it can raise awareness. There you go, there's a little bloke with his little thing. So you can use vlogs are great for raising awareness. Explainer videos, so that is explainer videos I'll go through in a bit more detail in a sec. They're very good. Also pre-roll ads, which is exactly what we've just watched. That was a pre-roll ad, because he would have chosen where that ad, so imagine there's some kind of, he would have identified where his market is in terms of on YouTube. What kind of videos would they be watching? You know, he'll have a demographic, he'd have worked out a customer avatar, which is something we'll talk about in a sec. Something you must have as a business is a customer avatar, a really, really well defined character of your market, of your target market. Off that basis, you'll then start to work out, right, where do these people live online? What are they watching? What magazines do they read? Where do they get their news? All of that kind of stuff you'll go through when you start to create your customer avatar. And so off the back of that, you can then go, okay, what kind of videos are they likely to watch? And so, for example, he might have decided, do you know what? Probably my market will be watching Top Gear, I'm guessing, right? So he would have probably run that ad in front of Top Gear, or the American equivalent of. He will just, I mean, obviously it's a US-based company. He probably wasn't shipping to I don't know, but you see what I mean? If you're creating pre-roll ads, you get to decide what the content is that follows it. So you can be really, really super targeted. And you know, that's why you need to be making content with the audience front and center all the time. You know, YouTube and Google ads, so powerful, and particularly with YouTube ads, you know, you get, like I say, you get to choose what videos your ads are shown in front of. So that's amazing. If there's a more established brand or business that is serving the same market that you want to, then you can simply go, I want all of my ads to be in front of that video. And also you can specify the video. So let's not worry about the videos that aren't getting traction. Let's only target 1, 2, 3 top ads, top videos, you know what I mean? So it's a very efficient way of getting your brand or business in front of the right eyes. Explainer videos, they can be used on a website as an introduction to your products or services, and they're more generalist than a product video. So this is not a list of features, okay? It's a very short introduction. The longer you make them, the less people will remember. So you need to focus on the problem, the pain that your customers have got, and the solution to position your product or service as a potential answer. Then briefly, you then say how it works, okay? And you suggest it as a potential solution. You're not saying you definitely need to buy this. It's a softer call to action. It's a softer sell than that, okay? It's informational at this stage. Also, video can establish you as an expert. We sort of mentioned that earlier. So you can do things like thought pieces. So this is, you know, it depends what you're doing. It depends the niche that you're in. But you know, typically, if you are in, say, the legal profession or accountancy, something like that, you can opine on certain things, or you can advise people, you know, oh, there's this new law that's this, that, and the other, it might affect you in this, that, or the other way. Make sure when you're doing your accounts, there's this new regulation, this has changed, blah, blah, blah. So those sort of things. If you produce that kind of informational content over a period of time, you will start to be regarded as an expert. But again, this is not an overnight thing. This is a months. This is a marathon, not a sprint. I said that before, I know. Expert interviews, great way of leveraging other people's credibility, you know, and borrowing a little bit and sort of basking in the reflected glory of people that are already established in your market as experts. With expert interviews, though, make sure that you are, again, going into these things with your audience front and center. What you don't want to do is turn it into some sort of industry jargon fest, depending on who your end market is. If you're B2B, then that'd be okay. But if you're B2C and you're interviewing someone in the business, and it ends up just being sort of, like I say, a jargon filled, you know, half hour, that is not going to do anything for anyone. It's going to exclude people, not include them. So just be careful about that. How-tos, you know, demonstrate your skills. If you are a plumber, how to fix a tap, whatever it is, you know, more sort of practical, let's say, trades, things like that. How-tos are massive on YouTube. They will get you. There's an amazing guy, I might show you later, a guy called Artisan Electrics. His channel has exploded. He is a plumber. He literally films jobs that he does. It can revolutionize, you know, the smallest of businesses. And actually for him, it's meant that he has grown his business very quickly within 3 to 4 years. So, you know, it's about consistency. It's about, you know, doing it on a regular basis and making sure that the videos you're creating are landing well with your audience. How-to videos, second most popular type of video, according to YouTube's own research. Amazing for service businesses and product selling businesses as well. So, you know, like I said, you can do how to install type things, or how to get the best out of this, or how to do this, ninja tips. Service-based, you know, accountants could be how to complete a tax return, how to make a will. That's really cheerful. How to fix dripping tap, already sort of said about that. Also, it can generate leads, obviously. Now, certainly from what I've gathered over the stuff that I've been doing in terms of talking to business owners over the past few months, generating leads is a massive one for everyone. Demo videos are great for that. You know, landing page videos, again, like we said, 80%, you know, uptick in conversions by having a video on a landing page. You know, and do sort of intro videos on social media or your website. So things like behind the scenes do very well. It's sort of meet the team. Again, you need to be careful with meet the teams and stuff. Always make it clear to the audience what's in it for them. Why should they watch? So when it's a meet the team, although it is a meet the team, you need to put some content in there, some value in it, in terms of, so that the audience goes away having learned something. So it can't be about us, really. It's got to be slightly about us, but mainly helping the customer. So there needs to be a balance. But whatever you create and whatever you're putting out there, you must I believe all the time have it's not a brag fest. It's not about telling people how great you are, how many awards you won. No one cares. I hate to break it to you. No one cares about us. People care about what they have, what the issue they have, and how are they going to solve it. And if you can help them do that, they're going to engage with you. Product demo videos, used for products and services. They talk about the features of the product, but they concentrate on what the product enables you to do. You see, come back to this thing. People are, you know, in a before state, it's called. So they've got a problem that they need to be resolved, right? They've typed in a query. Normally that's why YouTube and Google are so powerful. They are search engines. YouTube is a search engine. It's not a social platform. Social platforms, you know, that's a different style of selling. You've got to do it over a longer period of time. It's a lot softer. And actually the sales part of the process, really, you need to be doing that off platform, because people aren't on social platforms to be sold to. So you need to be careful about how you do that. Anyway, back to this. You need to think about the before state, like I just said, of your audience. What are they going to be wanting to achieve, which leads them to your content, and then focus on how your product or service allows them to solve that issue. So this is all stuff that's strategy. It's all stuff that requires brain power. So again, I would really urge you to block out some time in your diary to do this kind of thinking. It's not stuff you need to do like on a weekly basis in terms of with an avatar, creating your avatars, really understanding who those people are, the pain points that they have. You'll know because they will be coming to you and asking you the same questions day in, day out. Okay, so you have a flavor for what the issues are, how you can as a business help people, so it's just about dialing into that and spending time actually just going through and working out, what it is that how it is you help people. Okay, and focusing on that and disregarding sort of any sort of noises off. Do you know what I mean? Demo video, it's not an instructional video, so it's not sort of you need to turn this on and you need to switch this and all of that kind of stuff. It's like I say, it's about demonstrating what this thing can achieve for the person, and how it can overcome the issue they've got with a little bit of features and benefits, but it's not literally, oh, this is a green one and that is a whatever and this button does this. You need to keep it punchy, you need to keep it engaging, you need to keep it moving along. The 4 pillars of effective video are business goals. This is why I say, please invest in your business. Give yourself time and space to sit, grab a cup of tea or coffee or whatever your preferred hot beverage is, Ovaltine if it's late. Think about, what does your business need? Is it more leads? Do you need more customers coming in? Do you have enough customers but they're not spending enough? So is it about increasing your cart value? And that's a very cold way of saying it, but is it about increasing the amount of time people come back to you and buy from you? So that will be further on down the customer journey. You need to focus on, if you start with the end in mind, Ben says this, and he's absolutely right when he says it, you've got to start with the end in mind with video. Well, frankly, with marketing, I think. So really spend time and identify what it is your business needs, because that will determine the kind of content, video, blogs, whatever, that you will create. But if you don't do that, you'll be rushing off, spending money, time, and all the rest of it, creating stuff that won't land well and also won't work because it's not fundamentally designed to give you the result that you're wanting. Audience, who are we talking to? Absolutely critical. If you're creating stuff that fundamentally the people that you're shoving it in front of don't care about, it's a waste of everyone's time, and that's dangerous, right? Because this is why things like buying likes and all of that stuff is a terrible idea. It's much better to do it organically and take it from someone, right? I in the early days when I was flush with youth and just done the 3-dayer with Simon and everyone on the Internet Business School, I went and foolishly thought, oh, I need loads of likes on my Facebook page. But the thing is now, none of those people, they're all great. It looks very impressive, but actually they're not actual clients. They're vanity metrics. And this is what, to Claire's point about, really, it's about connecting with people. It's not about gaming the algorithms. Forget that. It's about creating genuine, useful content that will help people. Can't underline that enough. It's not about trying to get one over on Google. That'll never happen, right? They're a gazillion $1 business, and we're just we're small businesses. Just forget it. Just concentrate on doing what you do best. You've got knowledge and information and expertise that someone out there will want to hear about. Okay, it's about, the job is about identifying who those people are and finding where they are. And then it's about, creating engaging content, using your expertise, using your experience and insights, and then getting it in front of those people. That's the thing. Investment. What are our clients worth? That's what I was talking about earlier on. How much is it worth to your business, one client coming through your door? You need to really understand that. I know it's a bit Dragon's Den-y when they start banging on about figures and stuff, but honestly, it really is about that. Because if you don't know the fundamental figures that, run in your business in terms of how much is a client worth, how much can you spend on client acquisition, how much can you spend on marketing? If you don't understand the fundamentals of your business, how are you going to be able to be making really, really rational, commercially driven decisions? That wasn't a rant, by the way. That was just, and it's firm but fair, I like to think. Customer journey, what are we saying and when are we saying? Exactly, Anthony, you see? Know your key numbers. I know it's boring because actually, sometimes making videos and doing posts and all that, it's so exciting, isn't it? You're like, oh my God, look at this. Yeah, I've just done something really nice on Canva. It didn't cost me anything. You know, it's so easy to be distracted as a business owner, and Lord only knows it's taken me, I've run a business for 18, 19 years now, and it literally, really seriously, I've been, you know, really seriously guarding my time now and taking time seriously as an asset, if you like, for the last 2 years. That's it. And I have to say that since taking it really seriously, as seriously as money, in a weird way, this is a slight tangent, but hopefully it will help you. You know, money is a renewable resource, time is not. And it's taken me a long time to realize that and learn it, and actually for it to sink in my noggin. So don't let that be you, because it's so powerful. Once you realize that your time is worth money. CLV, Billy, is client lifetime value. So it's the amount of value. So a client will come into your, ideally, the client comes into your shop or your online store or your business and buys from you. But then obviously the ideal situation is that they then go away and you engage with them post-sale. And this again is why your video is so powerful, because it's, you know, you've got to have your follow-up sequences. You've got to have a pipeline or a funnel or something in place. It doesn't have to be super sort of whiz bang. It just, you need to map it out, and you need to understand there needs to be something before the video itself that needs to be doing something. You need to be pointing people once they've watched the video. You need to be clear as to what you want that viewer to do. Is it watch more videos? Is it give you a ring? Is it go to my website? What is it? Tell them what to do at the end, because ultimately you've earned that right, because you've given them lots of value up front. Okay. So they'll go and have a look at your website, or they, you know, if they've consumed enough of your content and you've built that relationship to a sufficient degree, they will then feel comfortable, your people, giving you a bell and saying, actually, I want to transact with you. Okay. So in terms of CLV, what you want to be doing is marketing to people who've already bought from you. It's so much easier to sell to people who know, like, and trust you, because fundamentally they already know, like, and trust you. So if you've got another offer, if you've got another product that you think can help them, again, it's not about trying to flog them stuff that's rubbish. It's about genuinely helping them. If you've got something that you think can help them, again, then tell them about it. And that's why email marketing, and that's not what I'm here to talk about, that's why email marketing is so important. Video is not a standalone thing. It is one of several things that you can do. You know, in the same way that there are a plethora of platforms out there, you need to choose one or two of them and be really good at them. In the same way, don't just create videos. Make sure you've got your structures in place in your business. Make sure you've got email marketing in place. Okay, that can be there are some great freemium email packages that will allow you to set up sequences, but you need to have some kind of follow-up sequence. Okay, because otherwise you'll lose leads and you'll just lose touch with people. And as I say, if you keep people in touch with what you're doing, and they will come back to buy from you. And again, it's about that follow-up. You know, do a follow-up video. Oh, a little loom. Oh, I noticed that you bought XYZ thing. Here are some great ninja tips. I just thought I'd ping you a little video message just to let you know that, you know, if you do this will help you do that. And, or create a library of kind of follow-up sort of ninja tips that you point them to on YouTube. That client's then going to feel looked after, right? And where are they going to go next time they need something? They're going to come straight back to you, aren't they? So why set video goals? I'm going to make this a little bit interactive because I've waffled on for far too long. Right. Why should we set goals at all in our business? Let me know in the chat right now. And I'm going to have a sip of my excellent water whilst you set the chat alight. I'm waiting. It's sort of smoldering, I'd say, at the moment. It's not really. So why would you bother setting video goals, people? Let me know in the chat. Well, I'll tell you what, I shall tell you. Need to be clear. Yes, exactly, Alan. Need to be clear of objectives and time frames. Good. Now everyone's woken up. I'm really glad. It avoids procrastination, guides your, absolutely, Janice, guides your focus. to understand where we stand with the audience. Absolutely. You know, like, and trust totally. So you don't waste, yes, Danny, so you don't waste time doing the wrong video that doesn't connect, and to motivate you. Yeah, absolutely. Because also, Janice, the thing is, the more focused you are, and you know, if you're producing content and suddenly it kind of kicks off on YouTube or wherever you know, it's a slightly rubbishy sort of example, but you know, I've been doing these videos on my YouTube channel since kind of lockdown. It was a bit of a lockdown project for me, you know, and just sort of anecdotally, people in where I live, you know, oh, I saw you doing these videos, oh, they're really useful. That is a real, when you realize that you're actually genuinely helping people in the real life, and people come across to you and talk to you about, oh, watch this, it was really useful. That gives you a real buzz. Certainly for me, it gives me a real lift and a real buzz, because you feel like, do you know what? I'm producing stuff that is of value, that is really genuinely helping people. I'm not asking for anything in return. I'm not flogging anything, but it keeps you top of mind. And I know in some senses, if you're being ruthlessly commercial, that is very hard to quantify in terms of, you can't really measure that. But you know what? It is a definite bonus to be constantly top of mind, because people are much more likely then, if they do suddenly want a video created, who are they going to come to? Me or someone they haven't heard from for, you know, 6 months, 9 months, 10 months, whatever. Louise, absolutely right. One needs to have a direction and then break down into bite-sized chunks to accomplish them. You absolutely do. Rosemary, if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? Exactly. Also creates another rung on the ladder. Yes, absolutely. Very good. So every video needs to have an aim. You need to be intentional. So the goals themselves will set the type of video you'll make, because ultimately, you know, if you're doing stuff because you want to increase the amount of you know, income that you get from clients, i.e. you want to make them buy stuff again, those type of videos will be different from an awareness type video where you are literally introducing yourself to people that never have heard of you before. They're fundamentally different bits of content. So it's not a case of literally cutting and pasting and hoping for the best, because you know, you've got to treat your audience with respect. At the end of the day, these are not stats, they're people. Okay, never forget that. You know, and this is where another little micro rant happening, guys. Just hold on to your horses. People sometimes get very obsessed with metrics, right, on social media platforms, because that's part of the reason they're addictive, is because they hit the dopamine button. Oh, look, there's meaningless numbers, but they're going up and it makes me feel good. That's kind of what they're tapping into. Oh my God, it is very like gambling in that sense. It's hitting all the little buttons in your head to make you want to come back for more, make you feel validated, make you feel good about yourself. But ultimately, especially when it comes to YouTube, okay, I've got a small YouTube channel. There's 200 people subscribed to it. But do you know what? It has revolutionized my business it's taken me 18 months, right? But I'm now having incredibly useful, deep conversations with people who are becoming my clients, right? From a standing start, you know, 18 months ago. That is really, really valuable. That's not me having 1.2 million subscribers, right? It doesn't, you can do stuff. And again, it depends. My goal is because I want to find like-minded business owners that I can help, right? That's my thing. That's who my tribe is. People will like you. People will kind of go, you know what, not everyone will be your biggest fan. Okay. And that is fine. You don't need to work with everyone. You want to work with people that really value you, really get what you bring and appreciate the value that you bring to them. Okay. It's fine for people not to like you. Don't try and please everyone. Just be you, do your thing in the way that you do it, and you will attract your vibe. As Ben Brophy says, your vibe attracts your tribe. And he's very, very right in that. Yes, exactly. Gossip videos don't cut it. I mean, what value are they frankly bringing? I mean, you know, there will always be examples that people can point to on YouTube of, you know, that kind of content. But to be honest, you know, the Casey Neistats, the vlogs, you know, he's doing brilliantly, but people like that have been doing it for years. You know, that's the other thing I would say. Don't compare yourself as someone starting out on your video creating journey to someone like Casey Neistat or Mr. Beast or one of those other huge, or in my niche, Sean Cannell, Think Media, which is a fantastic channel and an amazing bunch of people. You know, he's got 1 million subscribers and he deserves them, but he's been at it for 15 years. I've been doing it for 18 months. So how can I expect to be doing anything like as good as he? It's just madness to think that you know, that you could be doing that in that space of time. So really, honestly, please don't, please don't compare yourselves to other people. CTA is, sorry, this is so, I've got to give that slap wrist for me being so marketing jargony. Serena's absolutely right. It is a call to action, which is you're telling people what to do next. Pick up the phone, watch this next video, go to my website, go to this landing page. Those are called calls to action, telling people what to do next. You must do that. You must do, they don't have to be hard, you know, buy my thing for $5.99. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, you know, if you want to know more, you know, a really good thing to do is at the end of one video, think about video content, right? You want to try and create series of things. So you might be talking about one thing and it links nicely to another thing. So at the end of one video, you start teeing up that next video. So guys, if you want to know more about how to create an incredible video, I've just created a video all about how to make your video amazing by using B-roll, which is wallpaper. You know, that's coming up in a second, so make sure you click on the screen in a second. That is a call to action. Guys, let me know in the comments below, what are you finding difficult about creating video content? Anyway, that is a call to action because you're asking someone to do something. I hope that clears that up. Be specific, define measurable targets and timelines that can be tracked ideally, okay? Because you can measure them. What gets measured gets, I mean, just turning into this massive, like, splurgy quote machine, but it's true. Some of these things, you know, I'm sorry about that. Smart goals, these are really powerful. And actually smart goals are for, they're more overarching than for every single video. But actually when you're creating content, just have these things in your mind. You've got to be specific so the goal is clearly understood. It's got to be measurable. So you've got to go, you know, well, I'll go through them and then I'll give you an example. It has to be achieved. It's got to be a realistic goal, right? It's not like, oh, well, I'm going to, in 6 months, I want to be monetized and I want to be on a yacht in the Caribbean. Hate to break it to you, probably very unlikely to happen. And all that will happen is you won't hit your goal and then you'll become massively demotivated. So that's not brilliant. You want to give yourself staging posts that on the way to your ultimate vision, your ultimate goal, but, you know, be realistic. It's got to be relevant. So the goals have to be aligned with your overall marketing strategy, your why you're doing what you're doing, timely, that there's a specific time frame within which you want to hit that goal. Okay. So an example of that smart goal might be, I want to increase my subscribers by 1,000 within the next 12 months. Okay, it's really, really specific. There's a reason for doing it in the sense of, you know, you're expanding your marketing reach, which is a good business goal to have. You've given yourself a defined timeline. You get the gist. So it is a, it's worth being specific and methodical. But like I say, that doesn't need to be done for each video, but I would definitely for a sort of cluster of videos, like if you're doing awareness stage videos, and then if you're doing, you know, that would have one sort of smart goal. And then if you're doing stuff, well, I need to actually my business, you know, if I want to be doing stuff where I'm increasing the value of the cart, so increasing the value of each purchase that people make, that would be another set of smart goals because it's to do with its own thing. I hope that makes sense. Ultimately, though, we are converting browsers into buyers, and this here is a video marketing funnel. Awareness stage, so people don't know who we are here. So this is where we are being informational. We're just making useful informational based videos. Okay, we're not selling anything. We are encouraging them to interact with our other content at this stage. Consideration, so they know you and now they're like, oh, I quite like them. Consideration stage stuff, it's a little bit more specific, so it might be a product demo video might be used there. You know, and then obviously you create a few of those. So they like awareness, you're talking about the issues that these people have, and you're saying, and actually we've got a product or service that might help you. That's all you're saying. Then awareness is sort of consideration. You're like, so if you've got this problem, actually this thing that I've got here, what this does, it allows you to get from where you are to over there, which is where you want to get to. And it does it by this. Okay. But it's not a massive detailed feature list at that stage. It's literally, You know, this is how this product could help you. Okay. So awareness, you're talking about the problem and the fact that there is a solution, but you're not being very specific about the solution at that stage. Then you talk more specifically about the fact that there is a solution that can help with this issue. You're drawing them into the consideration stage. Then you start talking about decision stage stuff. That's when you start going the big guns, when you start talking about case studies. Oh, Jeff had this problem and now he used this and that helped him do. Jeff, what do you think about this? Wow, I think it's amazing. Testimonials, super powerful. That's why you should absolutely, as part of your follow-up process, always ask for testimonials, reviews. People will always, what's the first thing you do probably when you are looking for something to buy online? You'll definitely go and look at reviews, right? It's what everyone does. Right, so fundamentally though, you need to have a strategy, and that's what this is. From taking people from not knowing who you are to you know, sort of ushering them on their process. And you've got to do that deliberately. It doesn't happen by accident. You need to really know, this is why you need to know your audience, right? So you're helping them with valuable and relevant information. That's why you need to set goals, so that you can track the progress that you're making. That is a customer journey map. It's really complicated, but effectively you need to plot one of these for your, I would suggest you plot one of these for your business. You've got the different stages, and these little things are what are called touch points. The points in time where you get in touch with your customers. So, you know, it might be by email, it might be a phone call, it might be they go to a website. This particular one is an e-commerce product. It's quite complicated, so don't be scared by it. I'm showing you this because it's an example of what one looks like, that, you know what I mean? So I would urge you to take time out to flesh this out for your own business, right? So the basic process is you create content, video, blogs, posts, LinkedIn lives, whatever. And then you start engagement process. You start conversations with people. You tell them where you want them to go. So you're starting a conversation. You're understanding the issues. You're setting out the fact that you can help them. And then you then take them further into the decision thing, which is when they enter your sales process. Hopefully they will end up buying from you. That's when email marketing comes in. You can either do it one-to-one emails, you can have consultation calls, meetings, however it is that you close your sales. You want all of that process to be joined up and flow one to the next. Okay, without that, if there's any breaks in the chain, the leads will just disappear off and you'll never see them again. So just map it out and be intentional. That's what I say, be intentional about it. Be intentional about why you're creating the video content. Client lifetime value, here we are. This is how you work it out. It's really quite easy. How much revenue does a client bring into your business? It's a really critical metric. Basically allows you to determine the level to which you can invest in marketing and the ROI required from that activity, from the marketing, to enable it to be cash positive. Basically, it's the average transaction value, so the average amount that these people buy, multiplied by the amount of times one client will come back and buy from you. That is your client lifetime value. So a plumber, so an example might be a plumber, £100 a call out. He has 2 call outs a year to this one client. He's amazing. He retains his clients for 3 years. His CLV is £600. Right. An accountant though might charge £1,000 a year. The client will go back to them once a year. They are also very good. They retain their clients for 5 years. So their CLV is £5,000. So with that in mind, the accountants might be happy to invest £5,000 in creating their own bespoke video. You know, they might go and commission their own video content because actually they only need one client and then they've basically made the money back for that £5,000 video. However, for a plumber, you know, you might not make that call. You know, you might be doing, actually, I'm going to have to do this myself because actually, you know, the CLV doesn't warrant me spending, you know, £5,000 on creating a lovely video, because actually that would be, you know, 4 or 6 or whatever it is clients that I need to, new clients, before I've broken even on that. But you might make a different call. But the point is you're making it from a position of being informed. So yeah, fundamentally use CLV to determine investment level in marketing, both in terms of, it's not just money in terms of I'm going to pay, you know, someone Spike to go and design a website. I'm talking about also you need to value your time. You've got an hourly rate. right? You need to know what that is, because that is the way when it comes to productivity. Am I spending my time wisely? Is it worth me outsourcing, me putting, I don't know, entering contacts into my email marketing package? Well, data run, actually I could get someone else to do that for $5 an hour. I know my value is $40 an hour or 40 quid an hour. My time is better spent doing something else. Do you see what I mean? So it's just about, making commercially viable decisions and commercially incentivized, or not incentivized, commercially just commercial decisions, really. I don't know. Anyway, why do you need to know your audience? Because ultimately they're your customers, right? They will underpin your business. And fundamentally, if you don't understand who they are, how are you selling the right thing to the right person? You just don't know, because you've not spent the time, you've not invested the time in understanding who they are, what the problems are, and how you can help them. Exactly. So that is, you really, really do need to know that. So again, this sounds like I'm giving a list of homework. I'm not. You don't have to do this all at once, but you do need to do these things to be able to produce video that will work for your business. So invest time in profiling your audience. And like I said before, they're not stats, they're people. So treat them as people. Every single subscriber in a YouTube land is a person that's chosen to watch your content. So honor that fact. Your audience or target market should always be front and center of everything you do marketing wise. It's not about us, it's about how we help our clients. So there is a lovely little video, a business video guide there. I will put that in the chat later. In fact, I'm going to do it right now because I'm seizing the moment, everyone. That link there is a guide to how to create a customer avatar, and also some really helpful kind of initial ideas for the kind of content you can create. If that sounds like it's going to help out, please go and grab that. Yes, so this is critical, really critical work. If there's one thing you do, I'd suggest you do this. Detailed representation of your business, who your business serves, you creating a character, and it's a way through, it's a filter through which all of your marketing communications should be passed through. Is it relevant to that group of people? It talks about things like obvious stuff like age, are they married, have they got kids, blah, blah, blah. But actually it's more about understanding their mindset. What are the challenges that they have, in life generally, but also in their job. It depends on, again, whether you're B2B, business to business, or whether you're selling something business to consumer. But you need to understand, again, what are the issues they're typing into Google, and how can you help them? It focuses what you say and how you say it. And also you might have more than one group of people that you serve in your business. For example, if I was an accountant, I might serve, Danny, the link I just posted it. There you go. Thanks, Guy. So if I was an accountant, for example, groups wise, I might serve businesses that I might run payroll for businesses. So businesses that have got sort of 5 or 10 people working with them, but also another customer avatar would be solopreneurs or one-person bands, plumbers or trades that work on their own, freelancers. Okay, 2 distinct groups of people that I will target with different messages because they want different things. They've got different issues that they need to be resolved. So that's what I mean by that. But again, it's a chunky piece of work, but I really, really recommend that you take the time, put some time in your diary to do some strategy work if you haven't already. The other thing to say about this customer avatar stuff, once you've done it once, unless you go after a different market, that will be the same for years. Okay, so it's a chunky piece of work, but it's investment, I think, that's worth making. Certainly from a personal point of view, I did it and it works for me because I'm now attracting the people that I wanted to attract. And it focuses everything you do. And it's about, again, it comes back, I suppose, to the sort of productivity thing. You're just being really zeroed in on exactly what you're doing at every moment and making sure that it will contribute in some way to that goal. Yeah, we talked about this earlier, didn't we? With Claire, like, be authentic. there's a very nice quote there from Diana Wolf from Marketing Company. The public has shown that they care very little about video production values. This is why, guys, you should be jumping on your phone, and we'll talk about how to film. I know someone said earlier, what about, I want to know about editing stuff. We'll get to that. You need to be jumping in front of you need to be making stuff now. Absolutely do the strategy, but what I would say is do that strategy, but at the same time, jump in front of the camera and start filming stuff. You don't necessarily need to be posting it right now, okay? But you need to get practiced at making it and presenting, okay? Unless you're amazing, the first videos will be your worst videos, okay? So be prepared for that. Give yourself grace. It's a new skill. You'll be learning a new skill. It will take time to perfect. So, you know, do that strategy work. Make sure that you're laying the foundations for a really successful video creation. But also, as part of that, start practically doing it and get yourself comfortable. It's a weird thing talking to a lens. It's not natural. You know what I mean? Oh, Pauline, you can come back. You're very inspiring. I hear that, Edward. I created my first Animoto for YouTube. Oh, Edward, welcome to my world. Animoto video for YouTube. Animoto is, for those who don't know, it's a very, very good package. It allows you to create basically lovely animated slideshows. It's great. If you want to do those sort of things. It only got 20 views in 3 weeks, but I plan to follow with my second and third. I did everything learned mainly by Internet Business School, including relevant tags and description back to my site link. Keep learning, never. Absolutely. You cannot, it's an absolute, take it from me, right? It is an ego bruising process doing anything with video, in the sense that you put your love, you put all this effort, you've done all this amazing strategy work that we've been banging on about. You create this masterpiece, you put it out there and no one watches it. You've just got to pick yourself up, dust yourself off and keep going. Because actually, and to your point, Edward, don't forget that it's about volume. There are so many videos being created all the time, right? The stats are phenomenal and slightly scary, so that's why I've not shared them, because it's quite like, oh, why am I going to do that? The thing is, though, you need to target very, very specific areas, your niche. You need to be super relevant. But also you need to create multiple videos. You know, frankly, this is a frightening thing. YouTube don't even really register that you're there until you've done about 100 videos. Okay, so the whole thing of and they test it. You can see certain videos they will really push and see how, because they want to find content that people you know, they want people to stay on their platform for longer, so they're constantly finding new videos from new creators and going, oh, this looks good, let's push that in front of thousands of viewers and see how it sticks, see how the title and the thumbnail work, and see how, you know, with it, like how are Edward's videos performing, and then they'll go away. So you might get one video that pops off and then the next 3 don't do anything, but that's because it's the algorithm working out where to put you and where to categorize you and where your audience is. See, this is the thing. If we give content, if we create content that Google and YouTube like, and so we're helping them, we're answering specific questions, someone types something in and we're answering that question within a video, and it's really well, you know, conceived video, that it takes a while, but they do, you know, over a period of time, they go, hang on, Jeremy's been producing 100 odd videos for the last couple of years and they're all talking about video marketing. And so they'll start to push certain things. And, you know, it's a massive learning curve, ladies and gents. And this is coming from someone who spent over 20 years working in telly, right? So I do know how to create video. That's what I do every single day. And I've worked on big shows, I've worked with big showbiz people, but I still get absolutely hammered by YouTube. Go figure, right? But it's brilliant because there's never been a better time as an individual or as a business owner to create your own content. You know, you can create, for goodness sake, with live streams now, you can be your own TV channel. Never before in the history of humanity has it been possible for you as an individual to tell your story directly to your audience. That wasn't possible 20 years ago, because you'd have to you know, get a commission from ITV or the BBC. There'd be a million gatekeepers trying to, you know, oh, well, you've not done anything in the, all of that. Tell me about it. That's what you know, I've done that for a few years as well, trying to get commissions away. It's really difficult. You know, the brilliant thing with platforms like YouTube is that it gives you the ability, so long as you're creating really, really good content, to get it out there. And you don't have to have gone to the certain school, or you don't have to look a certain way, or whatever it is, to be accepted into, you know, getting a commission from a broadcaster. You can do it yourself. It's absolutely brilliant. Briefly, Pauline, I have a YouTube channel, but not been posting content for ages. Should I? No, don't create a new don't create a new channel. Just start producing videos again. Don't worry about it, but just, Pauline, make sure that you can physically do it. For, you know, you need to be finding your balance in terms of what works for you, in terms of your lifestyle and everything else, and your commitments. So, but don't start a new channel, because once you start repopulating it, so long as it's not like if you did a channel before talking about giraffes and now you want to be talking about internet marketing, yeah, maybe start a new channel and close the other one down. But if you're talking about the same stuff, just produce it and stick it back on your channel again. Well, exactly. I mean, Pauline just said, you know, found my niche now. It takes time. And I mean, honestly, this is another good thing. So when you go to see, you know, all these people on YouTube are amazing, and you're like, oh my God, I could never do anything like them. What you need to do is go to the videos tab, click on that, and then click on, so then you'll get all the videos they've ever created. And then go to the filter tab, and you filter by age, and then you filter from the oldest to the newest. Go and have a look at their first videos, because that makes you feel a lot better. Because even these amazing people, I mean, I talk about Sean Cannell, who's a brilliant, lovely man, and I love everything he does. He talks about, if you want to know about YouTube and kit and stuff, Think Media is, I'm just going to type it in the chat. These are the guys to talk to. He does a lot of YouTube kind of courses and things like that. But they're a lovely, lovely bunch of people. They come out of the States. He's amazing. But, you know, when you look at his first video of him looking like a very, very grumpy teenager in his bedroom, I mean, and now he's got 1.3, I think, million followers, and he's, you know, he's got the lifestyle business that he's always wanted and all that. But it's taken him 15 years to get there, and it's been a lot of struggle. So, you know, it's all good. Anyway, sorry, that was a really big tangent. Just be authentic, everyone. Basically, don't be who you're not, because it's very hard to do that over a long period of time. You know, it's not worth trying to cheat people. I just don't, it's rubbish to do that. So just make video that's worth it. Stack value up front. It's called front loading value, they call it. Help your potential customers. Are you now seeing there's a pattern, right? Help your potential customers, help your potential customers, help your potential customers. You're getting the point. Answer specific questions. Now, this is all about how your content is discovered. It's all about keyword research. Now, I've not got time to go into it today, but there's a whole thing to be done around that. I'm sure people have done it before on Saturday School. I'll have a chat with Max or Simon and see if I get invited back. Anyway, point is, it's all about what you want to do. Go onto YouTube or Google with your niche. Put yourself in the mind of someone who is your audience. What would they type in? What issues have they got? And then see what the search returns come back with, right? And those are all, you know, those are all topic ideas that you can, in fact, do you know what? Because it's just, I'm having a lovely time, I'm going to actually do it. Let's do a little quick news show. I know I've got like 10 minutes left, so I'm going to make this count. Yeah, anyway, there's a business guide, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to, so this is what I'm talking about, everyone, right? So you go, let's say, right, one of you, just tell me what you, I'm just going to scroll up, just tell me one of your niches. What are you, one of you, tell me a business that you're in, and we can have a little look at a niche. Property, language lessons, What language lessons, Serena? What language are you teaching? Oh, Airbnb. E-learning. Be more specific, because these are all very vague. I mean, I'm really appreciating your interaction. So Serena, just tell me what language you're teaching quickly, and I'll go and have a look for that. Oh, blimey. Hats off to you. Right. Let's talk. Let's see how this works out then, shall we? How to learn Russian. So, this isn't, oh, Jim, you're a man after my own heart. Sustainability and renewables. Absolutely. What an amazing business. Jim, put your URL in the thing and I'll have a look at that later. That's such a cool thing to be in. Anyway, sorry, I'm going to get Russian. Let's see. Right. Okay. I can't type. That's what we've established. Right. So Google is amazing. It's showing us, it's doing autocomplete. This is data. This is actual data, real time. So this will change over time. These are the things that people are actually typing into Google. Guess what? How to learn Russian. That's quite a wide search term. Okay. So that'll be quite competitive, I imagine. However, what you want to be doing is going niche. The riches are in the riches are in the niches. No, the riches are in the niches, as the Americans say. It doesn't work when you say it in English accent. How to learn Russian fast. Okay, that's good. How to learn Russian by yourself. Let's try that. See, these are basically the longer the sentence is, it's called a longer tail keyword or key phrase. And then let's see if Uber Suggest is going to play. Is it going to play? No, for some reason it doesn't want to play. Anyway, so what you want to do is you've typed that in. So you've got some ideas from your niche, let's say. So those are topics that you can look at. And so what you do, first thing to say is that there are adverts that are returned. That tells me there's commercial intent. So these companies, if I click on those ads, they will be charged some money. Now it's slightly irritating because for some reason my little widget Uber Suggest up here normally tells me, and I think it's probably something to do with Zoom, normally tells me things like cost per click and all of that, so it gives me the data behind it. Incidentally, Uber Suggest is a very, very good tool for doing this. It's free. You can do a paid version. It allows you to do 3 searches a day. So if you're looking for niches and all that stuff, it's really, really useful. So first thing, ads, commercial intent. Businesses are bidding for this thing. So anytime I'm typing that search term in, those ads get shown. So that means that if people are advertising on it, it must have a decent level of traffic and it must be the right kind of traffic. Otherwise, why would they be advertising? Okay, then so you can have a look and you go, okay, so the ads, right, okay, that's all good. See, this is what I'm saying. Look, so how many videos there? And they're all quite prominent because literally you've got all your ads and then you've got people also ask, how can I, again, these are questions people are typing in to Google. These are all titles that you should be using, because guess what? You create a video about how can I learn Russian fast by myself. That's quite a long and very specific phrase. But if you do a video that's titled that and it is about that, then the next time someone, and if not many people have made content around that, guess what? The next time someone types that in, your video will be there. That's amazing. And you start to do that, aggregate it. So based on this one search term, and you saw how many autocompletes there were in the first place. So, you've then got immediately 1, 2, 3, 4 things here. Then what I would do is look at some videos here. I learn Russian in 30 minutes. Okay, that's quite interesting. Teach yourself Russian in 30 minutes. See, that's quite interesting, isn't it? Because look, they're putting the 30 minutes bit in it. It's making it quite punchy. It's quite, click. I really want to get involved with that. Improve your Russian alone at home. That sounds a bit bleak to me. But learn Russian in an hour. You see already, just from looking at those videos, there are patterns there. So get inspired by that as a creator. Don't copy. Get inspired by that and think about, go and watch a couple of them, and then go, okay, how can I make these better? Can I make the production value better? Can I do it quicker? You know, people are very time sensitive, right? So if you can say what they're telling, you know, communicate your answer that question slightly quicker than you know, 27 minutes, that's a long time. 26 minutes, that's a long time. 4 minutes, that's better. 4 to 7 minutes for YouTube, that's ideal. So, but that's not to say if there are a lot of things that you need to say, then just make several videos and lead one into the next, into the next, into the next. Yeah, you don't necessarily need to do half an hour where you're talking about loads of stuff. Lead people into it. Okay. I really hope that was a bit of a sort of tangent, but I hope that has given you some kind of insight into, you know, how you can very quickly get data off just from doing a normal Google search. Okay, so start there. But that data is actual data from actual people. This is it. This is your audience you're talking about. Give to get, big one for me. Be generous with your expertise. Don't turn everything into a sales pitch. Give support and advice in forums. Go and spend time, structured time. So say I'm going to have half an hour here or half an hour there. Be rigid with that, because otherwise it will run away with you. Genuinely show up, just like Claire's doing, and people will respond to that in LinkedIn, you know, which you're saying with LinkedIn. Do it genuinely from a place of wanting to help, right? There are some resources there. Oh, hang on, that's not worked. Anyway, there were some resources there. Make video that resonates. We know all about that. Sorry, guys. It was going so well. There's some resources there. I think I don't know how to do that now. Anyway, I can put that link. It's an Enterprise Nation thing. It's all about using YouTube to increase visibility for your business. Take a screen grab if you want to. I'll post it in the chat later once we finished. I really need your help, because fun enough, it is all about the audience, and you are my audience. So I'd love you to spend a couple of minutes. I hope you don't mind. I hope I've kind of earned it. If I have, I hope you got loads of value from this, by the way. Go to that bit.ly link. It's a very quick survey, and it just talks about, or I want to know from you specifically, what are the issues you're coming across? What's stopping you? How can I help? Because I want to be creating, you know, content that really hits the nail on the head for you, and ultimately enable you and empower you to create video content or grow your business. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay, because like I said, it's absolutely vital that, you know, we get businesses firing on all cylinders, and small businesses are the way to go. Right, cameras, very quickly, I'm going to whistle through this. Start filming with your smartphone. You might need an app in addition to what's on your phone already. Depends what the phone is. Open Camera is free. Filmic Pro, $15. Guys, I'll put the survey link, Louise. I'll put that in right at the end, if that's all right. It allows you to unlock your phone. It unlocks your phone settings. So by which I mean, basically what you need to do is, when you're filming on your phone, you need to lock exposure and lock focus, so it doesn't constantly, so if the sun comes in and out, it's not constantly hunting. It just doesn't look nice. Editing, so definitely oh, thanks Serena for doing that. Editing, iMovie, if you're a Mac user, it's free. It's an amazing way to start. Okay, so I'd suggest you do that. Quick by GoPro, that is a mobile based app. It's really, really intuitive. It's fantastic. It's $10 a year subscription, and that works on iOS and Android devices. Definitely write these down, guys. KineMaster as well, iOS and Android, $40 a year. So those are for mobile. Desktop wise, like say iMovie is a very good one. Also ScreenFlow, which I'm going to write down. That is a Mac one. And Simon uses Camtasia, and a lot of people in IBS use Camtasia. That is Mac and PC. I'll ping some link. Fantasia, no, Camtasia. Thanks for autocorrect. It's so irritating, isn't it, when it does that? Anyway, those are slightly higher end, so that's, you're talking a couple of £100 for those ones. But again, it comes back to how much are you prepared to invest in getting your business out there. One step up from mobile, which is what I've got here, is a Sony ZV-1. It's a vlogging camera. It's now a couple of years old, but it's a fantastic little thing. It costs around, actually now it's gone down in price, it's about 600 quid. Superb amount of, if you want to get techie, really, really good image quality. But what I love about it, you know, obviously from my background as a cameraman and stuff, it's phenomenal picture quality, and you can really get in there and tweak if you want to. But the more important thing is it's brilliant, super easy just to take it out of the box, slap it on a tripod and start using it. And that's exactly what I've done here. I'm using it actually as a webcam, but I shoot lots of videos on it too, blisteringly quick. Where did you type for monitor? It was on the so basically I would say for monitor, as in desktop editing, I would start with, depending on I would use iMovie as a starting point. That's a Mac one. PC wise, I also use Adobe, which is a great one, Adobe Rush. That's a pretty good one. There are quite a few. Adobe Rush, that syncs also across all your devices. It's a really, really good entry level one. That's cheaper than ScreenFlow and Camtasia, but again, if you're going to be creating a lot of content, then invest as much as you can in the kit. Otherwise, didn't see all that in your slide. No, I'm adding value, guys, all the time. I'm just riffing. Yeah, so just invest. The thing is, you can be tempted, I suppose, to buy cheap stuff off Amazon. In my experience, that's a bit of a false economy, because what happens is it breaks within 6 weeks and you have to buy another one. If you are serious about this, and if you've done the work and you know that you're going to get ROI, you know, in terms of the customers coming in, how much they're worth to you, blah, 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 then invest as much as you can afford in the kit, because you will then not need to keep replacing stuff as you go through. You can scale it. So start creating stuff on your phone first. That's fine. Some great stuff being done on phones. Then maybe spend 600-700 quid, whatever you want, whatever you can afford. But I would say start on your phone, start to get into the habit of creating content. Don't let kit be a barrier. It doesn't need to be. It's more important that the content is good than that it looks amazing. Okay, if people will forgive a wobbly shot or two, what they won't forgive is rubbish sound. So definitely invest, which we're going to talk about in a minute, about in really good audio kit. Guys, I know I'm overrunning. I've got probably another 5 or 10 minutes, so if you can stick around, do. Though I think this is Claire, you can tell me if there's going to be a replay of this, so you could come back at a time that suits you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Recorded.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so I totally understand. People got lives to lead. You know, I won't take it the wrong way if you dive off. But you know, you can always come back and rewatch this. There's so much gold in it, guys. In the frame, this is how about framing. Rule of thirds. Not too much space between the top of my head. This goes for Zoom as well. Okay, we're going to, anytime you're filming anything to do with people. Eyes in the top third of frame. This is for like a talking head setup. This is what this is called. Looking down the lens, addressing the audience, because that is how you start to build know, like, and trust. That is how you start to create rapport with your audience. The rule of thirds simply is, Pauline gets good girl biscuits because she's just subscribed to my channel and filled in the survey. Thank you very much. The rule of thirds is just like it actually started with art history lesson, guys, when they were painters in the 17th, 18th century. It's aesthetically pleasing. So that's why they have the rule of thirds. So your eyes are at the top third of the screen, head and shoulders kind of at the first third. But it's a really good guide to create nice looking frames. Framing do's and don'ts, right? Good. I'm glad, Millie. I sometimes I wonder if I'm, talking too much. Don't let me know in the chat. I don't need to know that. Framing do's. I've seen too many nostrils. I don't want to see any more nostrils. So please, 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 if you're on a Zoom, just put your camera up, put the laptop up a bit, so I don't stare up at your, all that. So we don't like that. We also don't want to have the crime watch look, do we? We don't want to look like we've done something naughty and no one can see our face, because it's fundamentally you're facing the camera into the window, so the camera is exposing for the light outside, not the light inside. So you need to switch that around so that your face is facing the light, and it lovely. Daylight's amazing, very, very forgiving. And don't I know it? I very much need it. Also, the other tip as well is to take, this camera is slightly above my eye line. So my eye line is like there, but if you put it slightly above, it's good for the old jowls, good for the old jowls. And that's definitely something as you get a little bit older. I mean, obviously Claire's 25, she doesn't need that kind of tip. Basic lighting, let's talk about that. You can start off with your phone slightly above on a tripod. Try and keep it level, try and keep it steady, because it's a little bit distracting. Put it slightly above your eye line, and I'd just do stuff starting off, you know, facing a window. Okay, just use daylight to start with. It's really flattering light. Then if you want to, or you don't have the luxury of being able to film somewhere where there's you know, daylight, then just get a ring light. They're fantastic. You can get them for about 80 quid. I'll go on to where you can get them in a minute. But use soft light, flattering. It's very flattering. And if you put it from the front, it's a very, it flattens all the kind of wrinkles and whatnot. I mean, you might be 20, you probably are. See, this might not apply to you, but you know, I'm getting on a bit and I need all the help I can get, let's face it. It hides blemishes, it minimizes the shadows, frankly. So, you know, if you're putting it in front of you. Now, if you've got glasses like I have, you then need to have two lights, or two light sources, I should say. So it could be a window and another light. So you could have a ring light over there, but you need to come in from 45 degrees, because if you put, if you're wearing glasses and you have a light there, it'll just bounce straight back. So you'll just see glariness and you don't see lovely eyes. Seriously though, it's all about seeing your eyes and having your eyes lit and catch lights, because that is what, it's psychologically, that's what will connect you with the audience, your eyes. So if you can't see your eyes, it's less effective as a way of building that rapport. You only need to start with one light. So like light from slightly above the eye line, because then you don't get hot spots like in the bottom right here. Okay. But you know, as I say, this is all good and information. Don't obsess about it. Obsess about the content. So make that brilliant. And if it's not brilliantly lit, it doesn't matter, because you're not director of photographies. Would someone amazing? Yeah, Guy, you've got there. Amazing. You're very good, you lot. You will get the job. Basic light. So this is what a ring light looks like. This is the, I mean, originally back in the day, ring lights were used for beauty photography because they're super flattering. You can see this lovely, look at that gorgeous man there. And he's got lovely, it's such a flattering light. It makes the eyes pop, because you've got that lovely ring around the pupil, and it makes it super engaging. We want to hear what he's saying. You want to know about the story behind this gorgeous specimen, don't you? Ring light from about 80 quid. Soft light, always soft light. It's much more complimentary, and as you're starting off, it's much easier. Soft light is diffuse, so it's things like ring lights. As a starting point, it's a lot easier to work with soft light than it is with hard lights, theatre lighting, because you're creating fundamentally hard shadows with hard lights and you're chasing a tail. You know, it's what I spend my days doing. Like I said before, it's all about being able to hear you. If you can't hear, and if you're outside, I would start with a lav mic, or personal mic, one of these little bad boys. Clip it on there. Phil, love it. Home Bargains do ring lights for £20. Awesome. Just make sure they're big enough. So because you need to be able to poke the camera through it. But brilliant. I mean, there you go. 20 quid and a phone and a tripod. You could pick up a tripod for probably a decent one, 40 quid. So for under £100, you can start creating stuff. Yeah. There's no excuse, everyone. And I will be checking. These little bad boys, very, very good. They're directional. What you don't want, do not rely on the mic in your phone, because that is omnidirectional. That is picking up stuff. Oh, Phil, I mean, do you work for Home Bargains? They come with a tripod and a phone mount. That's easy. That's awesome. Maybe you should do an affiliate link idea there, Phil. Phone mics, don't use them, because they're omnidirectional. They pick up everything, because that's what they're designed for. personal mic, it's very directional. It will pick up what you're saying because you clip it near sort of there or on a jacket or wherever, and you plug it into your phone. If you've got an Apple phone, you need to do a bit of research, guys, on this, because depending on the type of phone, you might need an adapter to plug that end in. Rode is a very good make. If you can afford to, I would say as an entry level, they're not entry level, they're slightly better than entry level. But if you're taking this seriously and you're going to create a volume of work, video stuff, Rode as a brand is brilliant because they are really well priced, but they are very good quality components. You can pick up mics for 20 quid on Amazon. They are not the best because they're only 20 quid. This one costs 40 quid, but you get what you pay for. It's up to you. You make the call. Like I said, I would personally invest what I can afford. So whatever that is for you, go for it. So like I say, for $15 quid, actually, the cheapest Amazon clip mic is. They're just not as good quality, but it's up to you. You put in what you want. But yeah, what must you know before? But you should be knowing this by now, everyone, right? I've been prattling on long enough. Goals. What do I want to achieve? Tick. You'll be glad to know, Claire, I'm coming to the end now. Audience, who they are, where they are, how can I help them? Tick, hopefully. CLV, how much is a client worth to my business? Tick. What do I need? I need to obviously have a camera. Start with your phone. If you've not got a little thing like this, like a little vlogging camera, just use your phone. Start. Just please, just start. Take action. Lights, camera, action, start. It's the thing is as well, if none of you've done, if you've done like the 3-dayer, like I think Claire did it as well, but there's this big section at the end. It's amazing, literally after 3 days, your brains are leaking out of your ears and stuff. You're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? It's so exciting, all this. And then there's this big section at the end where Ben and Simon, in our case, when they stood up on the stage, and basically it felt a little bit in the nicest way, but it felt a bit like you're being told off. Because it's true though, because you pick so many, and I'm guilty of it. You do these courses and you literally walk out of the room, and then by the next week you've forgotten what they said and you just haven't done anything. So this whole big section was all about action. So please, you just take action. If you invest in one thing, invest in a decent microphone. Start using your phone. Just put straight away after this, put a time in your diary to start thinking strategically about your business, what it needs, and how you can start creating content that will resonate with your audience. Please, because otherwise I've wasted all this your time and my time. And that wasn't, that's not, I'm not telling you off, but we really need you to succeed, right? We really need you to succeed, and we really need you to create great content for your audience. Sound mic, studio mics, Lavalier. So a studio mic like this setup's about 250 quid. Again, it's Rode, it's brilliant. I absolutely love it. It's so easy to use. So the other one that Ben uses a lot, and I think Simon's got one, is the Blue Yeti mic. Blue Yeti, they are very good. And I think it's actually about, I want to say it's like 80 quid. So cheaper. It just is a little desk mounted thing if you're doing podcasts and stuff. But Blue Yeti mics are brilliant. This one's slightly more because it's got an arm and all that sort of thing. But, I just absolutely love it. So we've talked about that too. More detail, more guidance. Yes, here we go. So this is a very, 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 very soft pitch, right? I don't know why it didn't load in order, but so I am full, like, I'm not trying to sell you this, but basically I'm at sort of the latter parts of creating a sort of very comprehensive end-to-end course. Over 6 weeks it'll be two sessions a week. So one kind of chatty session like this, and then it's all about support and implementation. I think certainly from my experience of doing online courses, it's really important that you're in a community that is supportive and helps you through the processes of, for example, creating customer avatars, going through your customer journey with you, fleshing it out, bouncing ideas off you. There's no real sort of quick way of doing that. You've just got to put the time in and do it. Anyway, point is, I'm developing the Entrepreneurs Video Masterclass. It's not ready yet. I'm hoping to launch it maybe in a month's time. If that is something you'd be remotely interested in, will you please pop your name and email address in the chat, and I'll download them and I'll pop you on a little waiting list. No pressure at all. It's as I say, new course. It will be the beta version. It's going to be capped at 20 people because I want it to be a really. Basically, I'm invested in making the 20 people that I'm teaching succeed. So it's not about selling it to 100,000 people. I really want to just get small amount of people through and see them succeed and create videos. So yeah, name and email would be ideal, actually. Mind you, you've got it there. Sorry, what we're talking about. Thank you so much. So that's the end of that bit. Look, there are all my things and ways you can connect with me. Bit.ly business dash growth dash with video. That's the YouTube channel. I am creating and putting up stuff every week on there. Make Video for My Business is a free mini course thing that is just a selection of videos that will walk you through the initial stages of creating a video marketing strategy. Business video guide I've talked about before. That is the thing all about creating your customer avatars. It's a downloadable thing. That's my website in case you're interested. That is my LinkedIn in case you're interested. Ladies and gents, it's been an absolute pleasure. I really, really hope that you've got value from that splurge of information. Let me know what you think in the chat, and hopefully Claire won't tell me off and report me to the Internet Business School police for overrunning.
I've already reported you already.
I thought so.
It's been noted. Excellent. I feel like you need another 2 hours. So.
Well, this is the trouble is that it's not any, because obviously it's such a huge rabbit hole and there's so many, it's all interconnected as well. So you're literally scratching the surface, but the key, like I said, is about the implementation. So just do one thing, take it one thing at a time, put that time in your diary to be strategic. I would say that. And so have those strategic thoughts, get that going, and also just practice. And then you'll get your confidence. Someone was saying earlier on about, yeah, exactly, Guy. We need to crowdfund for the fee to have to pay the IBS, please. Well, I know that yeah. Mr. Coulson, he's an absolute devil, isn't he? But anyway, listen, I'm just please take action. Anything I can do to help, all the details are there on the screen. Thank you. I'm glad you got some value out of it, Bri. Yes, that's that.
Excellent. Right, well, I think I need to just cut you off now because I feel like you're just so excited about this, aren't you? Which is the best. It's the best.
Well, I've done it a while, but I'm still quite enthused about it. You know what I mean? It's because I knock about with people like Staz and all that, and it's just really difficult not to be like inspired by, he always looks so smart, doesn't he, Staz?
Well, we all look smart at the business school because
you do, don't you?
We all do, all of us. So excellent. Well done, Jeremy. So much value. Everyone's really enjoyed it. Thank you for taking the time with us. Like Jeremy says, make sure you take something from today's session, even if it's just one thing I said or one thing Jeremy said. Otherwise, you've wasted your morning, because information's everywhere, but action's where it takes place, and that's where you make things happen. So, so that brings us to the end of Saturday School. Thank you for your comments, everybody. Thank you, Jeremy, again for coming along.
Absolute pleasure.
Have a good week, everybody. Next week, I can't promise you, but it's pretty much not going to be me because I'm going away. But
are you running away on holiday or something?
I'm not running away, but I am away. So unless it's coming from when I'm away, so I very much doubt it. But I will be back at the end of the month on some topic that I do not know yet, if not before, because I do tell you this, I'm not coming back, and then I'm back. So we're going to rebrand it, Saturday School with Claire. Anyway, have a lovely weekend, everybody. Take care. Could I share my PDF link that I messaged last week about? I think I did email. If you emailed me, I did send them. I don't know if I've got it easily. Let me see if I can do it. Let's have a look, Billy. Let me look before we just finish up, if I can share it. It's a long time ago last week. Let's see where it is. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I'll put it in the chat. Hopefully you can download it. You're going to have to be quick before I shut this off. That was from last week. I hope you're putting those tools in place. Do you have one tab, Jeremy?
One tab, no. What is
Oh,
that?
One Tab is a Chrome extension. It's
Oh,
the
hello.
best. Do you like tabs?
Oh, I love tabs. I've got
Oh
so
my God, it's the best thing ever. One Tab is worth staying till the end till, because you press it and then it magically puts everything in one tab and you can restore it later, you can share
Ooh.
later, and it clears up your whole Chrome browser. It's the
Oh
best
my
thing
God,
ever.
that's amazing.
That
I've
is
written it
worth
down. It's so
getting on.
impressive. I've written it down.
You need to actually totally get on there and
I will.
get
I'm gonna
it.
do that right now. This is
You
it. Taking
seriously
action,
do.
folks. Taking action.
It's just life-changing. One Tab. Last week I shared One Tab. Everyone was, I think that was the most exciting thing of the whole session. One Tab will revolutionize your life. Make sure you download
Exactly.
it. Seriously, Jeremy.
I
This is the
will.
app
That and
page.
brand snag as well. I'm going to look at.
Brands. Oh yeah, there's that one as well. In
Just to
fact,
check.
that marketing thing, I did loads of things last week. Loads of things to do cool stuff online. But anyway, right. One Tab. Look, magical. I use this One Tab now all the time. See? We should just call it Saturday School One Tab. It's the best.
There's
ever.
definitely a brand deal to be had here, I feel.
There is really. I'm like, I'm not invested in One Tab, but I should be. It's the best thing ever for tab people, unless you're really like super good at keeping things tidy. Anyway, right, I diverge. We're going now. We're going off. We're going to get even more trouble because it's now 10 to 4. Anyway, take care, everybody. I hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you next Saturday at the Internet Business School. Bye.
Bye.